College Fencing 360, continuing our interviews here at the NCAA Championships. And Daryl Homer from St. John's now joining us, successfully defending his men's sabre title yesterday, nipping Notre Dame's Avery Zuck. Was it 15-14?
Yeah,
came down to the very last touch. And I guess, Daryl, if you wouldn't mind, first walk us through the bout. You've fenced Avery, you've fenced a lot of these guys many times during your career. What was your strategy going in? How did the bout unfold? Did you have to adjust during the bout? And then maybe tell us a little bit about the final touch that it came down to. But just in your words, how it...
My bout with Avery, I knew it was going to be pretty difficult. He's actually been fencing me pretty well in the dual meets. He beat me twice this year. And then we fenced one time at an act this year, and I won 15-13. So I knew it was going to be a difficult bout. It was pretty funny. The first touch I got, and I had that completely premeditated. I knew I was going to take small steps, provoke him, counter 3 repos. But after that, I kind of hit like a dead spot. I definitely felt that I wasn't in peak performance at that point during the bout, but I knew that I knew that I could reach peak performance at any point during the bout. So I just wanted to stay very perseverant, keep pushing through. And eventually I was able to do that. I think I tied it up at 7-7, then I took a lead at the break. Now, after the break, I realized that I was a little too, I was pulling back too early. So I wanted to stay there in the middle of the strip a little earlier to provoke Avery to attack me. And also I wanted to do more actions off of provoking Avery to attack me. So I also wanted to make sure I landed all of my attacks in the end of the bout. So that was pretty much my whole strategy for that bout. I don't remember the other question you asked me, though.
Just Avery as a fencer, what he's like is he someone you struggle with usually, or do you usually do pretty well against him? And what problems does he pose? Just his style.
Before this year, I'd say that I was pretty comfortable fencing Avery. Now I was a little hesitant in some parts of my fencing, especially my attack. And Avery's defense is actually it creates a lot of problems for me. And another thing is if he starts to attack from very far away, very aggressively, that gives me a little bit of an issue too. So in trying to eliminate those touches, what I try to do is when I attack him, I try to attack with stages while staying far. That way I can provoke an early counterattack from him, finish to the arm, or be cut. And if he pulls back too quickly, then I'm able to push him down the rest of the strip. In terms of defending his attack, what I usually try to do is either do actions against him in the middle of the strip so he's not comfortable running at me, so he'll fall short a little earlier, or I try to stay very, very close and win a counterattack or 2 repos. So that's pretty much my game plan.
The casual observer of sabre would just think you guys hit each other with swords and it's over quickly, but there's obviously a lot of thinking and strategy. Definitely. And you just exhibited that with a very thoughtful answer. How about this is 3 years in a row to the NCAAs, and you've reached the title bout every year, and so setting that up as great performances in the round robin. A lot of people who are new to NCAA championship fencing are thrown a little off with 23 5-touch bouts in 2 days compared to what you usually would do in a big competition. Now that you're a savvy veteran what was your approach this year? I think you finished at the top of the round robin, if I'm not mistaken, which is a feat in itself. But how do you approach this challenge of the NCAA round robin?
One thing I try to do, and I've been telling my teammates this today, is you always keep your head up. I know my freshman year I got beat up very easily when I lost a few bouts. I really let it affect me. Last year I was able to do a pretty good job of just winning all my bouts. This year I definitely had periods of time where I struggled. So I really tried to make sure that I stayed focused, kept my head up. And pretty much you have to remember that you can't really care about what everyone else is doing. I have to control my own destiny. If Avery's going to win all of his bouts, good to him, good for him. If Alex Ochoki's going to win all his bouts, good for him. But I have to control my own destiny. So I really try not to run to the leaderboard, check out who's winning there, check out where my team is, just focus on myself completely.
You mentioned your team, and I think we discussed this briefly last year, the hope to bring St. John's back into competing for the team title. And certainly, I think you guys only qualified 11, so that puts you at a little disadvantage, but you still have a lot of pieces. Are you going to, I imagine, are you going to take next year off if you're training for the Olympics? Is that your plan? Most of the kids usually do that, or have you decided yet?
Okay, so starting with the team, even though we qualified 11, we came here with a realistic expectation that we could win the tournament. We just realized everyone would have to carry a little more of their load. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but hopefully it'll happen before I graduate. In terms of the Olympic Games, I am taking next year off of school. So I won't be competing collegiately, but I will be back the following year.
And you'll still have a lot of the great fencers there to greet you when you come back to make a run at the title, the team title.
Hopefully we have a few more strong people coming in, and we'll have a lot of the returning fencers as well.